The screen glowed softly in 1,000 different rooms, a small window into a shared moment of sorrow. In a quiet hall in Jiangsu province, a family gathered to say goodbye to their grandfather. For those scattered across continents, the live stream was a lifeline, a fragile thread holding a family together. They watched, their own tears mirroring the ones shed thousands of miles away. Funerals, once private and local, now extend into the digital realm. The pandemic made virtual attendance a necessity, but it's continued because our lives are global. A son in Vancouver, a daughter in Sydney, a cousin in London, all could join in mourning. The live stream camera becomes a silent guest, ensuring no one is left to grieve alone. The quiet hum of the laptop fan is the sound of family, present in spirit, if not in body. The camera, positioned discreetly, captured the solemn proceedings, flower arrangements, the patriarch's portrait, and faces etched with sadness. Each element helped those far away feel the atmosphere of the room. For a few hours, the distance between them collapsed. They were all together, united in their farewell, sharing in the quiet dignity of the moment. This digital gathering felt both strange and deeply necessary, a modern solution to the age-old problem of distance. The number of viewers on the live stream was a quiet affirmation of the life their grandfather had lived. The technology, for all its coldness, was serving a deeply human purpose, holding space for grief, allowing it to be shared and witnessed. But this fragile connection was about to be severed in the most jarring way imaginable. The family had no idea what was coming. The eulogy began. The granddaughter stepped forward, her voice trembling with emotion. She spoke of her grandfather's kindness, his quiet strength, and the small moments that defined their bond. Her words painted a vivid picture for everyone, both in the room and on the screen. For relatives watching online, her voice was their guide through a shared landscape of memory. Her grief was raw, a universal expression of love and loss. As she continued, her voice grew stronger, filled with sorrow and anger at the finality of death. "He was taken from us," she declared. "This world can be so cruel, so unfair." It was a cry from the heart, a confrontation with pain. Then, without warning, the screen went black. The connection was lost. The image vanished, replaced by a sterile notification. "This live stream has been suspended for violating platform regulations." Confusion rippled through the digital audience. Was it a glitch? Frantic messages flew. The shared space of mourning was suddenly empty. The family in the funeral hall was unaware at first, absorbed in the granddaughter's words. Only when phones buzzed with messages from overseas did they realize something was wrong. The interruption was a second, unexpected blow. They had lost their loved one and now their connection to the rest of their family. The eulogy was over, not because it had reached its end, but because an algorithm had decided it was finished. The shutdown wasn't the work of a human moderator. It was an algorithm. These systems scan millions of hours of content daily, enforcing platform rules by detecting keywords. The granddaughter's emotional eulogy triggered the AI's filters. Words like "taken from us," "cruel world," and "unfair" were likely flagged as sensitive. In Chinese social media, such terms can be associated with social discontent. The algorithm doesn't understand grief. It only recognizes keywords. It hears forbidden words and executes its command: shut it down. The process is efficient but devoid of context. The AI doesn't know it's monitoring a funeral or recognize the cultural significance of a eulogy. The granddaughter's heartfelt speech was analyzed as a potential violation. The algorithm registered a high concentration of negative keywords and suspended the live stream. This reveals the flaw of using automated systems to moderate human expression. Grief is complex and powerful. Its language isn't always gentle. By flagging any language that deviates from a sanitized norm, Platforms risk censoring genuine human emotion. Artificial intelligence lacks emotional intelligence. An algorithm cannot understand the context of a funeral or the difference between anger at death and anger at authority. To the AI, unfair is just a data point. It doesn't register trembling voices or tears. This emotional blindness is especially problematic across cultures. In many places, including China, grief is loud and expressive, wailing, crying out, speaking to the deceased. An AI trained on sanitized data may misinterpret these rituals as disruptive. The system imposes a sterile standard on a diverse world. The granddaughter's passionate speech was catharsis, not subversion. But the algorithm heard only dangerous keywords. Machines operate on logic. Human experience is built on emotion and context. Grief can't be quantified or categorized neatly. When we mourn, our language reflects our vulnerability, something a human moderator would likely understand instantly. This isn't just about technology misunderstanding grief. It's about how that failure disproportionately affects women. In many societies, women are expected to express grief openly and vocally. The very expressions of sorrow that are culturally expected of women, cries of injustice, passionate outbursts, are the same ones algorithms flag as disruptive. A man's quiet eulogy is less likely to trigger filters. A woman's raw emotion becomes a target. The system, in its neutrality, reinforces old gender biases. It penalizes women for fulfilling traditional emotional roles. The result, a digital environment where women's voices, especially in pain or anger, are systematically muted. The granddaughter was silenced not just for grieving, but for grieving as a woman. The aftermath was a lesson in corporate opacity. The platform's policies are designed for efficiency, not empathy. When the live stream was terminated, the only explanation was a generic message: violation of platform regulations. No specifics, no recourse. The family was left guessing what went wrong. Appeals are slow, automated, and difficult to navigate. By the time a response comes, the moment is gone. The funeral is over, the chance for distant relatives to participate lost forever. The system is designed for scale, not sensitivity. The platform's primary goal is risk management, even if it means collateral damage to users in their most vulnerable moments. The appeal process is a bureaucratic maze, offering little hope for timely resolution. The platform acts as judge, jury, and executioner, with decisions rendered by algorithm. Grieving families are left to deal with the fallout of a machine's error. For families live streaming a funeral, the risk of automated shutdown is real. Read the platform's rules and community guidelines before the event. Advise speakers to avoid language that could be misinterpreted by algorithms. An uncomfortable but necessary compromise. Designate someone to monitor the stream and have a backup plan. Run 2 concurrent streams on different platforms. Record the event locally, so you have a permanent record even if the live stream fails. Share the link with trusted friends and family, and encourage positive engagement. If a shutdown occurs, mobilize your network to contact the platform on social media. While not a perfect solution, collective action can sometimes prompt a faster review. These steps are small acts of defense in a digital world often indifferent to our pain. Preparation is the best safeguard against a system that doesn't understand grief. When the black screen appeared, the family tried to appeal the suspension. The process was impersonal, a form, not a conversation. No field to explain the context, no way to describe the pain. They submitted their appeal and received an automated email. Thank you for your submission. Your case will be reviewed. No timeline, no human contact. Days later, after the funeral had ended, a second email arrived. The platform apologized for the error and restored the video. But the apology was hollow. The moment had passed. The opportunity for live, shared mourning was gone forever. The platform's correction did nothing to undo the harm. For time-sensitive events, a delayed appeal is a failure. Platforms must provide rapid response systems for urgent appeals, especially for life's most important moments. Without safeguards, platforms fail in their duty of care to users. This family's interrupted funeral is more than a technical glitch. It's a warning. The right to mourn, in our own words, is fundamental. When that right is infringed by a machine, we are all diminished. We must demand more from the platforms that mediate our lives. Transparency, rapid and human-centered appeals, and algorithms that don't silence the vulnerable. Technology should connect us, not police us. Our grief is not content to be moderated, it's an experience to be honored. We need better systems, ones that understand context and respect humanity. Let us defend our right to be heard, especially in sorrow. The granddaughter deserved to have her eulogy heard. Her family deserved to be together. By fighting for a more empathetic internet, we protect our right to mourn, without fear of being silenced by a machine.